Okay, I'm riding in Moab today, and the trail that I'm going to do today is a black diamond trail called Pipe Dream. Now, Pipe Dream is supposed to be 7.5 kilometers long or so. It is a trail that I actually did ride the first time I ever came to Moab, and for that ride I actually had done it after I had done Slick Rock. So my memories of it were that it was quite challenging, not for the least of the fact that I was really tired. So, because I had basically ridden to the trailhead of Slick Rock from where we were staying in Moab, did Slick Rock, and then rode all the way to the start of Pipe Dream, and then from there did a Pipe Dream. So it's rocky and sandy like most trails here, so this may be my only trail for today. I don't know yet. See how I feel once I get her done, get my bearings. Hopefully I have no camera issues. I've got a battery in the camera instead of my power pack. Apparently I was having power issues the last couple days, so the videos turned out to be okay, I believe, but I haven't seen the final product, so I don't know. So I don't really know if this is a popular bike trail to ride here or more a popular hiking trail, but it was black diamond, so I thought, you know what, I did it once and let's try it again, because I remember it being pretty good, and I should have somewhat fresher legs. Having said that, this is, I think, day 5 of riding, so I'm certainly not as young as I was when I came here for the first time. Nice trail so far, though. And my master plan for this was to park at the parking lot at Jackson Street, which is sort of right on the edge of Moab, and then ride the gravel road. Ow, just pinched my foot in a rock, to the start of the trail. I quickly changed my mind and I just rode the highway. So much simpler. Use my energy for riding on the trail instead of getting to the trail. Try and be a little smarter. I have overextended myself a few times already on this trip, so I'm an old man, for God's sakes, or older, as I have people probably watching it that are older than I am. So 62, going on 63 next month. And like I said, I have done this trail before, but that was before my GoPro days too. So I'm trying to make an effort to not duplicate videos. So, and that is in every region that I ride. So have some fresh content. And I know that I don't have many subscribers, and that's okay. I don't get many views either, and that's okay. What I do with all my videos is I upload them to Trail Forks, because there's so many trails on Trail Forks that have no videos attached. And I think it would be a great reference, right? Not that I'm a great rider or anything, but someone that wants to see what they're getting into can take a quick look at the video if they want. You certainly don't have to watch the entirety of it, but you get so many videos of people. Morning, how's it going?
How are you?
Good. That do a small segment of a trail, and then people, they, you know, depending on who's watching it, thinks that's great. I want to hit that because it's steep or there's a jump and all that kind of stuff, but not everybody's into that. Like, this is definitely more of a sort of all mountain cross country trail. Maybe flow in some sections. So I upload everything to Trail Forks as a reference, really. I thought it was a half decent idea. That is if in fact the trail is on Trail Forks, because they typically only put trails that are sanctioned, and I have ridden some that are unsanctioned, so you'd have to go to my channel for that. It's a very scenic trail as well. It's right on the edge of a rock cliff. Up and over a rock there. Oh, tight U-turn. Very good. Nice. Yeah, so like in Moab, like other locations, there are definitely certain trails that are the favorites. And, you know, that's great, because tomorrow the intention is to ride Captain Ahab and very popular trails. So most likely be quite busy. It'll be a Sunday, so, you know, but you never know around here. Like, it's a vacation destination, so who knows if it'll be busy or not. Most of the other trails that I've ridden so far this week I've hardly saw a person, so of course that's popular. Slick Rock, which is sort of world famous, I've already done that, and I didn't videotape the entirety of it because I did that last time. So what I did this time was a video just showing the more difficult climbs with the intention of like a personal challenge to myself of conquering the climbs. And it went fairly well. I was quite happy with it for an old fart. Don't hit the rock with your head. I rammed my head into a branch yesterday. That was when I was out riding the brand trails yesterday, and there'll be a video out for the trail. It'll probably be a couple weeks ago that I posted it. I post one video a week, so, but I don't know what other people think, but Dead Man's Ridge at the brand trails, one of my favorite trails. Like, it was awesome. you know, it's straight on all rock and not fast or nothing like that, but somewhat technical. Really concentrate onto your line. Really had a lot of fun. I'll definitely go and do that one if I ever come back to Moab again. Heck, I might still do it for this trip, who knows. But there's some other ones that I did. I did Dead Horse. Wasn't overly impressed. So I probably would never go back there again. And the only reason I say that, because the trails I think were fine, was in Moab on the rock faces, if the trail is hard to follow, they put lines, and there was nothing there. I found it very difficult to follow the line, which meant a whole lot of stopping and checking trail forks on my phone, so which was not pleasurable. But the views there were amazing. Like, you have to pay to get in there to even ride. Now, granted, I'm sure you could park somewhere and ride your bike in. It would be cost you less, just like Slick Rock. But $20 to get in, and you get amazing views. So through the rocks, pick your way through the rocks. And there's a breeze, so that's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. But even for the ride for yesterday, where I did the brand trails, I had more ride set up on my little cheat sheet, but I didn't do the entire thing. I've got to be smarter and not overextend myself. So I only ended up doing 3 trails. And in fact, I didn't video sort of the entry trail, which is called Easy or Lazy or something like that. And it was awesome. Like, very rocky and challenging in certain spots and stuff like that. So, like, in my mind, more of a blue, but who am I to classify a trail? Whoop. But I also did a trail called Killer Bee, which was a double black diamond. Now, I usually don't go on to double black diamonds when I'm away from home, because double black diamond usually means kind of scary, and like, I might be a high intermediate, but you know, I'm not going to take a ton of chances. But I had watched it on a video for the Moab Rocks race, so I thought, okay, let's take a look at it. And there was all sorts of warning signs, you know, steep, get off your bike, walk areas, blah. And I did walk almost the very last corner, because it was steep and loose, and I didn't want to take that chance. But the rest of it was not bad, because of obviously the conditions are good. So everything was dry, so you know, for the steeps, it's all on rock face, so it was very much just a matter of keeping good body positioning and good brake control. There's a couple tight corners that I did do because they weren't as loose, and they were fine. I did them slowly. Step up. So I have a few more ride days after this, and then I'm off to Fruita, Colorado for 4 days. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna ride trails that I've never done before. The Cocapelli trails, I think the lunch trails, and then trails up by Paradise, Colorado. Not the shuttle, unless I change my mind and try and sign up for that, but I haven't yet. But there's some lower level black diamond loops that I thought would be interesting. So that's the plan for that. I could see why this trail would be popular for like trail running or something. Because after I parked on Jackson Street, I did see a runner going up. But haven't seen another biker. There were cars in the parking lot. That's probably hikers. Bit of a corner, loose rock. Very good. Step ups there. There's a punchy climb, maybe. Nope. Must have taken them forever to build the trail. And did a nice job. Gotta squeeze through some rocks. Keep it going. Just go straight away here. really having to use the dropper post too much. And you could definitely do this trail faster, but that's not my style. I just like picking through the rocks. U-turn. Sort of like a little bit of a downhill. Bit of a climb. I don't know if this is supposed to be classified as a two-way trail, but I think you pretty much do it two-way without any issue. I'm doing it the way where I'm heading back into town, so sort of right on the ridge of the cliff. You certainly, well, you need to pay attention on all rides, but when there's sort of cliff exposure or semi-cliff exposure, you need to pay attention. You probably wouldn't fall very far, but it wouldn't tickle. And for this trip I am solo, so I'm doing things a little bit cheaper this time around. And I'm staying in a Sun Outdoors RV park in a camping cabin. So basically we've got a little cabin with power, and that's it. So short walk to the bathroom and the showers, and you basically live out of a cooler. And I brought a two-burner grill, a two-burner stove instead of a grill. So everything's worked out great. I'd say one of the best things about the place is the fact that it's got a pool. And I have been there for about 2 hours every afternoon. Just relaxing for after the ride. Decompressing all that stress. Okay, I don't have much stress, but only when my GoPro malfunctions. That's my stress. But I haven't heard any beeping or anything yet, so I'm certainly hoping for the best. I did a test yesterday just with the battery, and it overheated, and it beeped when it turned itself off. So it wasn't beeping when it was stopping recording when I was doing the other trails. So I don't know what that was all about, but I guess I'm just using batteries for the rest of the trip. So I won't be doing big compilation videos or anything like I usually do. Very nice trail. I think my wife would even enjoy this. You know, there'd be a couple different challenging spots, but because I rode with her on the Clonzo trails last time 3 years ago. She loved it. Had a good time. I haven't been back to the Clonzo yet. I may or may not go back because it's a pretty big area, so there's other trails to ride. I sort of just pick on the morning of now, seeing what I want to do, because I had wanted to do Slick Rock again, but do it counterclockwise. The desired or recommended direction is clockwise, but you don't have to do it that way. So I don't know if I'm going to get to that or not. I also, I think it was the second day here, I did the Raptor route, and the big mistake I made for that was not doing a shuttle, plain and simple. I rode the 11 miles of Sand Flats Road, and my God, if they do that for the Moab rocks, I give those people credit, because it wasn't that it was hard, it was not smooth in the least. So that wore me out more than anything. I was glad when I got back to the truck. And I also ended up not doing the last trail. Now, with regard to that, at the beginning of the ride, I ran into a fella who owns the Hazard County shuttle service, and I was asking him about the trails, and he was saying that the last trail, I can't remember the name of it, is very sandy right now. So having rid a couple trails or been on some trails, trying to use English as my first language, riding on sandy trails is not overly fun. So I was thinking of going back and doing that trail, but I don't know if I will. Like, I was actually thinking of after doing this, so we'll have to see how I feel. Bit of a climb. Ah, too bad. I just lost my back tire off the side of the rock. Too bad. Here we go again. And I did check, and I am still recording. Good. That was disappointing. I could have been on a bit easier gear. There's a nice view for you. It'll be interesting when I can start seeing my truck again. I have no idea how far I've gone yet. I think it said that it was 7.4 kilometers. It seemed to take a while to ride to the trailhead on the highway. That was nice and flowy. Oops. A view back down to the businesses along Highway 313, or sorry, 191. That are south of Moab. Wipe the sweat. Set up for this corner. I did not set up well for that. But I made it. It's quite rocky around here. Up. We're gonna climb now. There was just a bit of a junction there, I think, for people to go back to the parking. Not my parking lot, I guess another one. But the side said, pipe dream this way. So this is the way we went. climb the rocks. Wipe the eyes. Climb. Keep with it. Very good. Do some breathing. Oh. To try and work in a swipe to get the sweat away from my eyes. It's not as bad as it was the other day, but it is still bothering me. Yesterday it didn't bother me at all. Coming up to some water tower. It might not be water, but it's a tower. We're doing a climb. climb the tower. Whoops. Pedal strike. Bit of a breeze. Just gonna stop for a second and give my eyes a wipe. Okay, here we go, carrying on. I can't quite see my truck yet, but I think we're relatively close because we're back and equal to where the residences are. So I just used a little bit of water just to flush my eyes, see if that helps. Whoop, make the turn. Another junction point. Whoop. Clankety clank. Sandy. Another junction point. Oh no. Okay. That wasn't good. Almost went off the side. Concentration. Gonna walk up a touch. All right, carrying on. Oops. I'm gonna step up. Good. Whoops. Whoops again. Another junction. I'm gonna go back to that junction. I'm not sure if I'm still on the trail. I'm glad I went back because I did miss the trail. Starts going down. I think I left the trail. Time out.